Hello, welcome back to Crypto News. My name is Donovan, and this is a segment that I like to call CryptoBasics, where we will explore everything that I believe are essentials when it comes to the cryptocurrency and blockchain space. I hope I can provide the most concise and easy to understand explanations, regardless if you do or do not have a background in finance, engineering, or computer science. What is blockchain? We hear it a lot, and for many it is still this mysterious and unattainable insight. I mean, come on, there must be an easy way to understand what is it about. Well, actually there is. Although the technology itself is complex, understanding it is not so. Right, so the blockchain is a distributed database or online ledger that is used to maintain a continuously growing list of records called blocks. Each block has a timestamp and a link to a previous block. This chain of blocks are managed by a peer-to-peer network that follows cryptographic protocols that validate new blocks. So this form of digital ledger can be used for various purposes, and in the case of Bitcoin, which I'm sure most of you have heard of, if not all of you, it is used for transactions on the blockchain and is recorded chronologically and publicly. Keyword right there, publicly. It means everyone can see your transactions and you can see everyone's transactions. Basically, by being public, it allows for complete trust of the system, and trust is a very important key to having the blockchain. Bear in mind that the blockchain is not only capable of recording digital transactions, but virtually everything of value. Everything. So imagine, for example, Ethereum, another cryptocurrency that uses the blockchain, focuses on smart contracts. So if everything that I said so far still does not make any sense, I have a solution. So I read this analogy once that talks about blockchain and Bitcoin and how it is similar to a glass deposit box. And it's from Cointelegraph. I'll attach the link in the description box below so you can read more about it. So imagine a 24/7 bank vault. It is filled with row upon row of unlabeled deposit boxes. However, the vault is open for anyone and everyone to enter. Each deposit box has a glass frontage, and opening a new deposit box gives you a unique key. Although you own the deposit box, it is not under your possession, but you have the ability to access its contents at any time. So picture that for a second. Think of it and let it set in. Alright. So although it's an oversimplified way of explaining the blockchain, but to a certain extent quite accurate. So why the fuss? Why do we need blockchain? Why do we want blockchain? I mean, what are the actual benefits to having such a technology? Well, tons of benefits. For starters, it is a decentralized system. So what does that mean? Well, imagine not needing a bank. So there's no huge fees that's being taken from you. There is no interest rate, no such thing, because there's no such thing as banks. Alright, and the network is not controlled by one central authority. Instead, it is operated peer-to-peer. Basically, people have control over their currencies, assets, and information that they own on the blockchain. So with decentralization comes this newfound epiphany called transparency. Well, it's really important. Because it is a single public ledger that lives in consensus, the data is automatically validated, periodically allowing for a self-auditing system. This also reduces the clutter of multiple ledgers. So if you want to find out how your transaction gets there, you can actually find out. Then we have security. The blockchain is extremely secure. I mean, hacking is near impossible due to the nature of it being a distributed ledger rather than a centralized system. So imagine this. If someone, say for example, wanted to rob a bank, all they have to do is rob that bank, and all the information, all the money, and everything in the bank can be taken. Imagine someone wanted to hack a bank. They just needed to hack that particular bank. But imagine if someone wanted to hack the blockchain, say for example Bitcoin's blockchain. I mean, that would be pretty hard. First of all, they would need to hack into that block, which by the way is super secure. I mean, it uses some high-tech shit. It uses like some kind of, I don't even know.
Cryptography. I don't even know, it's like cryptography, some high-level shit. Honestly, it's like CIA, FBI shit.
So they would have to hack that block and all of the previous block, going back the entire history of the blockchain. And that's not it. On top of that, they need to do it on every ledger in the network, which could mean millions, if not billions, simultaneously. You need a lot of computing power to do that, and you need, I don't even know. I mean, I'm not a hacker, I'm not a computer programmer. I understand a bit here and there, but all I know it's near impossible. Finally, there's this issue of trust. Because the blockchain is decentralized, public, and cryptographic in nature, it allows people to trust each other and transact peer-to-peer. Basically, you don't need to trust anyone to do a transaction with them. Trust is not in the person but in the protocol. Any form of middleman becomes obsolete. Now do you understand why all the banks are freaking out over this? Freaking out! I mean, everyone's like, no! So what's the catch? I mean, it couldn't be that perfect. I mean, there is no such thing as a perfection. Well, of course blockchain is perfect, but we are not perfect. So what are the threats to blockchain? What are the actual dangers? Well, one of the threats to a blockchain is called the 51% attack. Mainly it is related to the Bitcoin network. So although extremely difficult, it is theoretically possible. So the 51% attack is when a miner or a group of miners control more than half or 51% of the network's mining hash rate, or in other words, computational power or computing power. This allows them to halt payments between some or all users, basically causing a fork of the network where they control the majority of the network, leaving the network that has been forked
to just fail miserably. This new blockchain just continues to grow while the previous blockchain just dies out. So that is one, but I mean, so that is one of it. And if you'd like to learn more about this, and is it actually possible? I mean, so if you'd like to learn more about this, I have attached a link in the description below to Investor PwC. They have a wonderful explanation on what it is and the possibilities of it and more. So just go right to the description.
Click it if you want to find out more. Alright, before I end this video, I'd like to provide you guys with some common terms in the blockchain and cryptocurrency space that is thrown around a lot, and I feel it'd be really useful to know what it means. Alright, so altcoin, basically any coin that is not Bitcoin. Block height, the number of blocks connected together in the blockchain. Block reward, reward that is given to miners for solving the math equation related to a block. Fork, a permanent divergence of an alternative operating version of the current blockchain. Halving, reduction of mineable reward every so many blocks. So Bitcoin halves every 210,000 blocks. Hash rate is the speed at which a block is discovered and the rate at which the related math problem is solved. Mining, when a block is discovered and solved along the blockchain. Multi-sig or multi-signature, having more than one signature to approve a transaction. And lastly, node, basically just a computer that is connected to a Bitcoin network. And all of these are just simplified definitions. I mean, you can learn more. I find it better that you go just learn more about all these terms so you fully grasp what it means. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching this video. As always, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. And until our next video, this is Donovan from Crypto News signing off.